up, yeah, it's time to start it. And I know you got it. You're with me, let's rock this party. All the girls on the side say, and all my fellas on the side say, tonight we're gonna fly high to the skies, 'cause we're gonna have a taste of the good life. Here we go, here we go, here we go up. We're gonna rock this club till it blows up. Yeah, we're gonna live a good life. Yeah, we're gonna do it all night. Tonight, we're gonna live the good life. Alright, let's go and live the good life, the good life. Tonight, we're gonna live
All right, what's up, everybody? 6 p.m. Close enough. Sunday. It's your boy Onyx. Going full nerd. Man, we're gonna live the good life, but I'm gonna tell you, this is one of those days. So I had to get a little upbeat music. Yo, what's happening, everybody? It's your boy Onyx. Hey, going full nerd. If you saw the trailer to this video, meaning if you showed up before the live stream, I did a little video, a little short video this morning before I got up to go see Spider-Man No Way Home. Now, before I start talking about all of this, we got to do some real basic stuff. We got to do the stuff we always do. And that's thank everybody for watching, listening, everything that we say, when we do like the podcast and stuff. But I'm going to hit the shameless plug right now because I'm going to get deep for a minute in talking about Spider-Man No Way Home. I'm going to do my best not to spoil it for people who haven't watched it. I may slip up depending on what I fill my cup up with. Because after watching this movie, I need to fill up my cup. So, let's get to it. Spider-Man No Way Home after the shameless plug. What's up, everybody? It's shameless plug time. So thanks for checking out the podcast, Going Full Nerd. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe everywhere possible. So look for Going Full Nerd on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, goingfullnerd.com, and my Twitter handle, ONYXXX1969. You can also listen to the audio version on its home, Anchor.fm, but also on Pandora, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or wherever you consume your podcast listening pleasure. Hey guys, let's get on with the show. Okay, hey, I'm giving forewarning. I am doing my best to not spoil the movie, even though inside of the description I said there may be spoilers, which there may be because, I always like to try to predict where the Marvel Universe movies and television shows are going. So it's all spoiler material, but I gotta have a drink. And I'm drinking a Kraken because we had Dr. Octopus in this movie, which, everybody's seen the trailers. I gotta put a little something in the glass. Because after watching Spider-Man No Way Home, I need a drink. I really need a drink. Now, I can't guarantee I won't. I can't guarantee that I won't. I may spoil some parts, consider this as a warning, but I'm going to do my best not to spoil it. I'm going to do my best not to spoil it for those who have not seen it. Okay? I see that some people in the chat have seen it. That's good. And we're going to talk a little more. Hope you guys were able to check out my Hawkeye review. We got the season finale of Hawkeye coming up this week. We got The Matrix coming up this week. We got Kingsman coming to theaters. We got all sorts of stuff happening Christmas week. And then just a shameless plug for next Sundays, after Christmas, you get holiday cheer. We're going to do our annual I Put the Hoe in Holiday special where we may just open up the phone lines and, do our thing. But I'm going to do my best not to spoil No Way Home. Because, what did I say? We had to Scooby Doo this crap. Or as Doctor Strange put it in the movie, we got to Scooby Doo this shit. All right? We got to. Now, here's my thing. Traditionally, the third movie in a trilogy suffers problems. Usually, it's either real good or real bad. Okay, that's how it works with trilogies. By the time you get to the third movie or even more in a series, it goes kind of haywire. I mean, whether it's too many villains, um, trying to wrap up too many loose storylines, leaving fans with a sense of emptiness because we know that the actors we've grown accustomed to watching are getting older. They're moving on to different roles. We can't see them as anything else, you know. But with that said, I'm gonna say, I'm gonna say, I'm gonna say, we're gonna talk about No Way Home, and we're gonna talk a little bit about what they've done with Spider-Man over the course of the years, and where No Way Home leaves us without trying to spoil everything. Because it's so many little things that I want to say about this film, good, bad, and indifferent. Honestly, there are some bad things about Spider-Man No Way Home. There are some bad things. And some people may not think they're bad things, but I think they're bad, actually bad things. And it's kind of crazy, but let's get down to it. One of the issues we had, Spider-Man got introduced, Captain America: Civil War. Everybody remembers the Hey Underoos, and with a lot of things that, what's the best way for me to say it? Through Peter Parker's growth arc in the MCU and dealing with the best, what's the best part? Um the best part for me to say is his mature his growing into being a hero in the MCU was actually overshadowed by Iron Man, Tony Stark. I mean, really, think about it. Civil War, Tony Stark brought him in. We were all happy to see Spider-Man in the MCU. Hey, under rules, and we lost it. Okay, I know I did. I was excited, from his initial throwdown with Falcon and the Winter Soldier and all that good stuff. And then as we moved on, we got the Spider-Man films. We got a little bit about him, a little bit about his quirks. He's smart and all this stuff. And basically the hero worship that he had with Tony Stark. Now, hmm, here's the thing. And this is going to be the one part that I am going to say. This, whew, they did, there are so many things through the 3 Spider-Man films now for this Spider-Man that, oh, what's the good way for me to say that? I am so glad that Spider-Man No Way Home happened for Spider-Man. I think that's the best way for me to say it. I think that's the best way for me to put it out there. This was the best thing to happen to the Marvel Cinematic Universe Spider-Man ever. But it also has giant repercussions for the Marvel Cinematic Universe as a whole. And that's the thing that gets me. I'm really, how it stands in relation to other Marvel movies. I'm a say it. This is me. I see it in the chat. You know, my man likes Infinity War. I'm more of a Winter Soldier person. I think Winter Soldier. I put Winter Soldier actually at the top of my MCU movie list. I mean, Infinity War, Endgame, yes, Infinity War really topped the cake, you know. But I'm more. I liked Winter Soldier. It gave that little spy thrillerness. Black Panther, obviously for the culture, yeah, blah 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 blah. But Spider Man No Way Home really did some unexpected stuff, if that's the way for me to put it. And it explained it in a very good way. Now that's me saying it lightly. Um I really wish my coworkers would stop texting my work phone on a Sunday, you know. So let's do that. Okay, there we go. Um, Here's the thing. Make sure I got that off. Okay. So here's my thing. Okay. Things we did not have in the MCU. We did not have a Uncle Ben. Okay. So we don't really know much. Still, we don't know how Peter Parker got his spider powers in the MCU. If you think about it, really did not get into that. But there are some things that we did learn. Now, this is not spoiler territory because they've been doing press junkets, so you know these characters that I'm getting ready to talk about are in the film. Okay? Green Goblin, Norman Osborn is in the film. Okay? Dr. Octopus, Otto Octavius is in the film. Electro is in the film. Sandman is in the film. The Lizard is in the film. So we understand that all these characters is in the film. Okay? All right? So, keyword. A lot of people may not have picked up on. This is a spoiler. Not a big spoiler, but a little spoiler. Cover your ears. We learned that there is no Norman Osborn in the MCU. End of spoiler. Okay. So, to have a lot of the key defining moments that in Spider-Man history, Spider-Man lore that we know, not really occurring in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So that's where I can understand where some people may not have liked Tom Holland's Spider-Man. We had great elements of Tom Holland's Spider-Man, meaning he was a high school kid. He was learning to be a hero. He was awkward. He was messing up. That is some great stuff. That is Spider-Man-esque from the comic books, from the 60s, from the old school. But we did not have a lot of, before that happened, his personal tragedy. Okay? We did not have his defining moments. We did not hear of his character building. A lot of his arc inside of the MCU was basically trying to be like, emulate Tony Stark and or just to join the Avengers. Those were things that defined the MCU Spider-Man up until this film. A lot of people balked. Oh, MJ. MJ's black? What? Is what it is. It's the MCU. This is not the comic book. They took a different path. And I'm cool with that. Okay? I'm cool with that. Smooth with that. So, here is the kickers. The kicker. things that I call plot holes that, left me a little bit dumbfounded at the end of the film. These plot holes, where does it go? The rumors have already hit the internet. We're going to get a Spider-Man 4. They say Spider-Man 4. Tom Holland is talking about he's taking a break from acting, but then Sony releases, we're getting a Spider-Man 4. Okay, we still see the Morbius trailers with Spider-Man, okay, with Spider-Man on a poster in the Morbius trailer. So that's going to clear up. But that doesn't clear up a whole lot of things that we see as they Scooby-Doo this crap. But it made me learn Spider-Man is more than just Peter Parker and more than just the kid with spider powers and all that good stuff. What really, really makes Spider-Man are his villains. And I can see why they focused on the villains in this film. Because those villains shape Spider-Man for the future. They shaped Spider-Man for years to come. And that's going to be kind of cool. That's going to be kind of cool. So now, here's the part. I'm a pause. I'm going to take a sip of this drink. Because here comes spoilers. I'm going to give some spoilers now. So if you have not seen the movie, I ask that you don't get mad after this point. Give me a thumbs up or type a number 1 in the chat to let me know you're going to be okay with this or that you're signing off, because I'm getting ready to really get into this right after I take a sip what I call Doc Ock's brew at 94 proof. So I'm giving y'all a couple of seconds while I take a sip. Okay. You guys have been warned. See y'all here. That means y'all don't care about spoilers. Here goes my thing. Couple of things. First of all, Doc Strange. Here's the key about Doc Strange. Doc Strange, he played a big part, but he played a tiny ass part. Couple of things that I love to learn and I like to know. and this is the cool thing, So Doc is not the Sorcerer Supreme through technicality. Okay, I'm cool with that. I could deal with that. But you would think he would get his role back now that he's back. He's not officially dead. We all know what happened with the blip. And I'm sure Wong would rather be doing some other shit. But it does explain a lot of stuff, like the after credit scene from Shang-Chi. It does explain Wong running around doing a whole bunch of stuff and why he constantly seems to be going on vacation in all of his appearances since Infinity War. Or Endgame, as you'd rather say. Okay, so now let's continue on. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. We had our Uncle Ben moment. I ain't gonna lie. I teared up in the theater. I teared up in the theater. I thought Endgame with Tony Stark dying was the only time I would lose it in a movie theater. But the MCU Spider-Man, his Uncle, and I'm going to call it Uncle Ben moment because I'm going to do my best to try to, his Uncle Ben moment had me bawling. I was in there like, what the hell just happened? No, y'all didn't do this. You mother, I was like, you mother suckers. Oh my goodness. And people say that Marvel is, they don't want to do things different. That part did hurt. It hurt. It hurt bad. It hurt bad for a lot of reasons. That was my first. I'm sad moment. Okay, that was my first sad moment. I'm gonna say I removed that message, Ron. I'm doing my best. I'm still. This is spoiler alert. Let's not mention names. Let's not mention names. Okay. So now, here goes my thing. Okay. So now, let's move on. Let's continue on. Couple of things that this movie did establish. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care who says it, how it goes down, or whatever. Every Marvel movie that ever existed, all the way back to Howard the Duck, is now canon in the MCU due to the multiverse. I don't care what anybody says. Oh, that's not part of the MCU. That didn't. It's all part. So Netflix shows, Hulu shows, ABC TV shows, the New Line Cinema movies, all the Fox. As much as I hated a lot of the Fox X-Men movies, all that shit is now canon in the MCU and can be referenced and touched because of the multiverse. Bam! That's it. I don't care. Say what you say. All right? Good job. Cheers. Now, let's talk about a couple of other little things. They dropped a lot of little hints. Mention of a black Spider-Man. We all know who that is. It is what it is. That's cool. I could dig it. Hopefully that does come to fruition. Hopefully it doesn't come to fruition like the comic books when he originally had his origin. So that should be kind of surprising. So let's move on. Okay. Yes, we're going to talk about Wink Wink, the lawyer. We're going to talk, hey, and I think that's been spoiled on the internet a lot. That's great. Love to know how much. And I feel that this Wednesday's season finale of Hawkeye is going to expand on that a little bit more, which is great. I like that. That is awesome. 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 And the the scene where they had the lawyer, that was a great bit of foreshadowing. For those that saw it, I'm just a good lawyer. Yeah, how did you do that, homie? Good deal. All right, so it does bring up a couple of other questions for me. Now that you've done that, who else are you bringing into the fold? And what was it the repercussions of the multiverse that did that? So it is what it is. No, don't get upset about the lawyer being in the MCU. Okay? That is probably one of the better moves, and he should have been in the MCU from the start. I feel that the Netflix series, all of the Netflix series should have been considered canon in the MCU. And even in the beginning, even with, and I'll throw this out here, with Luke Cage, they referenced the Battle of Harlem, which was between the Hulk, okay, and the Abomination, both of which who are in the MCU from that abysmal Hulk movie. All right? It is what it is. Let's keep it real. All right? The Battle of New York was mentioned in the Netflix series. Don't get it twisted. It just didn't heavily sit on it. They just focused on that section of New York and Hell's Kitchen. It is what it is. I mean, it's all, but it's like comic books. I mean, let's talk comic books for a minute. If Galactus plops his ass in the middle of Manhattan Where the hell are the rest of the superheroes? They don't see this big tall motherfucker showing up. But only the Fantastic Four responds. You know, let's hit comic book logic. You know, I mean, yeah, let's take it over to Warner Brothers. You know, Lobo comes to Earth, and Superman is the only one throwing down with him in Metropolis. Where the hell is Green Lantern, Flash? I mean, I understand they got their own cities. I mean, is that like an unknown rule? Like, yo, I'm in this city. I'm not going to leave this city unless they call me. Like, you superhero, man. You got superpowers. I mean, it's like, there should be more team ups, but that's comic book logic. I know. It is what it is. So, you know, we do. And thank you for bringing that up. I did say a long time ago, all Marvel movies are canon. You know, the multiversal aspect of it all makes it all. So it is what it is. So let's go. Let's now. Okay, let's stop. Well, let's stop the comments right here. Disney material. So let me ask this question: with the events of No Way Home and everything that happened in it, I mean, you had Doctor Strange saying shit. Is that Disney material? Think about it. Think about it. I think some of these raids that are loosening up. Everything doesn't have to be hyper realistic, hyper violent. It doesn't have to get the point across. I mean, I'm just saying. But, you know, it is what it is. I mean, I'll put it this way. Deadpool is going to be R-rated. We know that. Even if it's not R-rated, he's going to talk. He's going to push the limits on that. It is what it is. It is what it is. And if you also notice, I think Disney Plus is kind of easing up the restrictions. It's starting overseas, but I think it's going to end up over here too. It is what it is. But let's finish with No Way Home because I got to get to the opinion rating and whether or not it's worth everything to go. So we get the key defining moments of Spider-Man, what he does, how he does it, all that good stuff. But with that, there is loss. And that's something, a key defining trait of Spider-Man that we see from every comic book, from everything else. This dude struggles. And I think that's awesome what they did with this movie. He is now going to have the struggle piece. As he enters college, yes, he's going to go to college. That's the great stuff. That's the awesome stuff. Now you're going to get a more struggling Spider-Man, someone trying to make ends meet, someone trying to be Spider-Man and balance his life. Okay, so that's going to be the cool thing. And as you can tell, he's going to try to regain the love of his life. Kind of awesome. There was great redemption arcs for Spider-Man. Oh, let me say this correctly without spoiling. There was great redemption arcs for the Amazing Spider-Man. Okay. There's a redemption arc for Spider-Man. Okay. So it makes it real kind of awesome to kind of wrap all of that together. Makes it a real good movie. What do I give it on the going full nerd scale? Well, even after watching 2 end credit scenes, one of which sets up something that is pretty cool if they follow through, and the other one basically foretells the next part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Here goes my king. Spider-Man No Way Home gets this as far as an opinion is concerned from your boy Onyx here at Going Full Nerd. It does get a 5 out of 5. It is a must-see. Couple of things. If you got kids, please take the kids, but tell them to keep the damn mouth shut through the whole movie because there will be shocking moments. There will be moments that will have them in tears because I know it had me in tears. I was upset. I wanted to cry. I really wanted to cry. So here's the deal. Can they outdo us on a Spider-Man 4? Can they bring Spider-Man back for an Avengers movie where he helps the Avengers. I don't think that's going to happen. I think what's going to end up happening from here, we're going to get, if we get Tom Holland to sign an additional contract, which I think he does have a contract with Sony, just not to do Spider-Man all the time, because we saw some previews to the Uncharted movie. It is what it is. Here's the deal. If they could sign Tom Holland to a couple of more movies, and I'm gonna do some research to see if I can see if he's still going to be in a few more films for Marvel, that'll be awesome. That'll be great. And hopefully we could go ahead and start Spider-Man off on his own. With the little tidbit from the mid credits scene, if you want to call it that, or the after movie credits, we could see some of the things that we really wanted to see, especially with the success of the Sony Spider-Verse movies that we have seen so far, aka Venom, Let There Be Carnage, and soon to be coming out Morbius, with the hints that they've dropped and the closer ties that Sony has with Disney production studios for use of Spider-Man. Because, hey, we know it's all about making that money, player. But this is the greatest thing about this movie. They effectively separated him from Tony Stark. So he's no longer in Iron Man's shadow. He is now free to become a respected hero in his own right. Broke, busted, disgusted, just like we like our Spider-Man. Okay? And the fact that he knows that life does get better, though it's going to have its hard points. I think that's the overall message of the movie. So, 5 out of 5. Go see it. Spend what you got to spend to go see it. Worth it every penny. Every penny. I'm going to go see it again. They're going to get my money again. I got my booster shot. I got all that stuff. I got masks and all that. I'm going back up in the theater to see it one more again. But because I'm predicting this is probably going to hit, you figure Eternals was November. Now it's got a January Disney Plus release date. So we're looking, this is December. So we're looking early March for this to possibly hit Disney Plus, which is going to be kind of cool. That way you can watch it in my newly remodeled living room that I'm doing my best, and it's all good. All right. Hey, everybody, that's it. That's all I got. Hope I didn't spoil too much. We're going to do the Put the Hoe in Holiday special next week, and then it's going to be open mic for everything. I'm going to be honest. We're going to talk about it all. We spoiling all sorts of stuff next Sunday, 6 p.m. Hope everyone has a very Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Festivus for the rest of us, Happy Hanukkah, all that good stuff. And I'm going to go finish my drink, eat a little dinner, and finish drowning my sorrows because my New York Giants are trash this year, and we got our ass whooped by the Cowboys today. It is what it is. Anyway, hey, thank you, everyone. We're going to put the hoe in holidays, and then we might do a special one prior to New Year's, because we got to make some New Year's resolutions, or as I say, our annual Live Fest. We'll figure it out. So, this is what I plan on doing. As always, if you can't say something nice to somebody, don't say it at all. And peace, y'all. And I'm out of here. Now, I'm still fly. Let's hit this and we out here. Oh, my God. Ooh, Spider-Man.
Everybody smoking all the greenery. Close the match 'cause they were handed down to me. But I'm still fly, I know.
And
I'm still fly.
Let's drop that beat.
I'm still fly, let's go.
Hey man, it's hard for me not to spoil something, but this is one of those movies I really don't want to spoil it for a lot of people, so I skirted the issue. It is. Everybody be great. Everybody have a wonderful and merry Christmas. Hey, be safe out there. People are driving crazy. The weather's some kind of way. Hey, it is what it is, everyone. But hopefully we see everybody on the flip side of the holiday and go into 2022. Cool. Make sure you check out a couple of things. I think I'm going to have to do a Matrix review. That comes out Wednesday. We got Kingsman getting ready to come out. We got a lot of movies getting ready to start dropping again. Since we done figured out how to make movies again. I'm out of here. And if you haven't already, subscribe. If you hung around this long and you see the video on the replay and there's a nice little thing right here on the side, that's a subscribe button. Click this. I need this. I need you with us. Memberships available. We donate it to charity. That's what we do.